All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all the praises, the glory, and the honor unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Wadash. Yahawah being the true and only name of the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God. BAHASHAM being in the name, and YAHAWASHI being the true and only name of His only begotten Son, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Those are the true names of the Father and His only begotten Son in the true Paleo Hebrew language. I also want to give double honors to all the elders and the Akim that's out here laboring in this word and truth and in sincerity, doing everything to make a calling and election sure. Shalom to y'all and y'all families. I also want to say shalom to all the Akim and the Akwatim out there that receive, learn, and believe and keep the faith. Shalom to y'all and y'all families as well. I'm the brother Malak, I'm Awan, back in the spirit once again, here to feed the lambs and the sheep of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, and Lord, will this is edifying for the nation of Israel only. The nation of Israel consists of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and also you speckled bird out there who over time have taken on the look of the heathen, but your spirit goes back to the true patriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Like I said, Lord, will this is edifying. Today's camp, we're going into how wickedness is abounding and increasing in the world, but we got to counter that with righteousness. We got to counter that with the righteous acts, and we need to increase in our righteousness as well. And also, you'll be able to know that by their fruits, man. You'll be able to see traits of wickedness and righteousness by their fruits. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 28 and verse 28. When the wicked rise, men hide themselves, but when they perish, the righteous increase. So we see wickedness rising in the world right now, and men are hiding themselves, man. You see people are starting to see the signs, starting to get more information so that they can counteract what's going on in the world, try to get more news outlets to give them the real of what's going on and whatnot. But they're missing and neglecting the main point that you need to counter this wickedness, which is righteousness, which is the law, statutes, commandments of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. It says the righteousness increase. So we need to be increasing in righteousness, because that righteousness is going to ultimately increase when Yahawah returns and restores the kingdom of heaven on earth to the Israelites. But we need to be practicing those traits right now so that we can be ready when that time comes. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 25, and verse 6. And at midnight there was a cry made, behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him. And that ultimate bridegroom is Yahawah, the one who's going to be who is responsible for instructing righteousness in the earth. Now, of course, we know it goes to the Most High Yahawah ultimately, but He's given all the power in the right-hand path, the right-hand side, to Yahawah, the Son. So He is that bridegroom. Verse 7. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, Not so, lest there be not enough for us and you, but go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. So that those ones that are coming into the marriage, it's talking about the elect, man. Ultimately, it's talking about the elect of the nation of Israel, the ones that are hiding themselves, but also in righteousness, not just getting alternative information, not just prepping, not just doing those things, but not keeping the core of what you got to be doing. The core is the righteousness. That's ultimately the biggest weapon against the wiles of the devil, man, against the whims of Esau, against the wickedness. And ultimately, you'll be ready for the marriage, because the ultimate righteousness is going to come when Yahawashi returns and restores order on the earth. But we got to be doing the necessary steps to meet that standard, so we can sit at that table with him, and we can be pure salakia, pure brides, for the bridegroom. We can be that pleasant bride. So we got to be doing this right now, which is doing what? Keeping the commandments to the best of our ability, which is the whole duty of man. Let's hold that, Matthew. Let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes. This is Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 13. Salat, verse 1. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not. So remember the Creator, right? So what are we doing, man? Remembering our Creator, Yahawah. So what do we have to do to remember him? Occupy ourselves in his words, his laws, his statutes and commandments, to be diligent, to pray, to fast, to do the things that we can do to be found worthy in his eyes. That's remembering him. Keeping the old path. Let's hold that. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah. This is Jeremiah, chapter 6 and verse 16. Thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the ways and seek and ask for the old paths. That's remembering our Creator, man. Remembering the ways in which the world was the righteousness is supposed to be ensued in the earth, man. Remembering, going back to the book of Exodus, reading his laws, seeing what it is we need to be doing. Keeping our minds occupied on the ordinances. Where is the good way? Because that's the good way. The good way is not this society. This place is backwards, man. This place is nothing but confusion. We see men with men, women with women, children oppressing their parents. Fathers are so afraid of their daughters in this day society, they don't even want to rebuke their daughters, man. They don't want to rebuke their sons. No respect for elders. That's not the ways of the Lord. That's not the old path. Doing whatever you feel like doing, that's what Babylon promotes. Do what thou wilt. 777. Alistair Crowley. That's what Babylon promotes. But the ways of righteousness is always being mindful of what you do. Keeping that moral high ground standard, which is rooted in the laws, statutes, commandments of the Lord. So that is classified as the good way. And walk therein, meaning what? Occupy yourself in it. Remember it. And ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein. So Jake, man, don't want to walk in that way. But that's the way we're supposed to be doing. Jake want to do other things to hide themselves from the evil. They want to prep. They want to get 50,000 water bottles. Want to get 8,000 rounds of ammo. Want to get all kinds of sniper rifles. I'm not saying that stuff is bad, but that's not going to save your soul. What's going to save your soul is this word of the Lord and occupying yourself in righteousness. So going back to Ecclesiastes, since we got the foundation that remembering that Creator is the ways of old, not the ways of Babylon, and it's folly, it's confusion, it's do what thou wilt, spirit. That's not the ways of righteousness. That's not remembering the Creator. That's serving the God of this world, man. And the scriptures say, if the God of this world blind them, hey, they ain't meant for it, man. Roughly paraphrasing. If you're not serving your Creator, you're serving somebody. You're serving the world. Bacchus, the Baphomet. The devil. That's who you're serving. If you're not serving Yahawah, Yahawashi, Your mind's got to be occupied on something. Got a lot of people out there delusional, thinking that, oh, I walk in the universe. The universe guides my steps. The Baphomet guides your steps, man. Satan guides your steps. That's who guides your steps. Because you're being guided by something. We're not singular entities, man. The created is meant to serve the creator. So if you're the created vessel, you're gonna serve some form of you're gonna serve some higher level power, man. And the highest level is the Most High Yahawah. But you got people that serve other gods. And if you serve in this world, you are serving other gods. You're serving the gods of wood and stone, man. As prophesied, that will happen to our people. So it says in Ecclesiastes 12:10, remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. So we got to be remembering our Creator when it's not all hell hasn't broken loose yet. When we still got an opportunity, to make a decision. When we can choose righteousness or wickedness. When there seems to be options for pseudo provision, but the real provision comes from the Lord. That's what we got to be occupied in. It's not enough to serve the Lord when all hell breaks loose. You only serving him because you feel you need him at that moment. But you got to be serving him before you feel like you need him, which we always need him. That's delusional mindset to think not. But we got to be trying to diligently search him out even before the evil days draw nigh, even before it's your only option. So let's go down to verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yahawah and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. So that's everything to us, man. Not saying you can't do other things, but the foundational principles for your life have to be serving Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Focus on his righteousness. Focus on his prophecies. Putting him first. Don't the scriptures say, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and his righteousness, and all these shall be added unto you? So as this wickedness is increasing in the earth, before the evil days really draw nigh in its fullness, but it is brewing up, we should be focused on what our purpose is. That being serving the Lord. That being keeping his law, statutes, and commandments. And doing what we can do to make him pleased of us, man. So let's go back to Matthew. Matthew 25 and 11. Afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open unto us. And he answered and said, verily, I say unto you, I know you not. So if you are not increasing your righteousness before that ultimate righteous standard gets lifted in the earth, if you're not doing such, the Most High Yahawah is going to say, Lord, he's going to say, you're going to be asking him to open unto you. You're going to be asking him to give unto you. You're going to be asking him to purge you out of the evils, But he's going to say, I know you not. He's not going to open unto you. He's not going to fill you up with righteousness, He's not going to save you from the coming destruction. He's not going to pour his spirit out unto you so you keep the right ordinances. So you keep the law, statutes, commandments. So you do the right things. You do the first works. He's not going to open that unto you because you didn't occupy and put him first before you felt like you needed to do so. You tried to hide yourself in pseudo provisions. You didn't think you thought that those would save you. But it's really the Lord's, you're really deluded, because the words of the Lord is what's ultimately going to save you. Verse 13, watch therefore, for you know not, for you know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh. So we don't know when Yahawah is returning to ultimately put that righteous standard on the earth, pursuing back to Proverbs 28. Pursuing back to Proverbs 28 and 13, and it's like in 28, when the wicked rise, men hide themselves, but when they perish, the righteous increase. So, you know, we don't know when Yahawashi is returning. So we got to increase in righteousness even before the ultimate perishing of the wicked comes. So when that righteous is really increased in the world, when it's really supplanted into the earth, you know, we've been doing the necessary things to be found favorable in the Lord's eyes so we can be a partaker in that ultimate righteousness. That's what we got to be doing right now, man. This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 5. I'm going to start at verse 6. I'm going to start at verse 8. Verse 6. Let no man deceive you with vain words, for because of these things cometh the wrath of Yahawah upon the children of disobedience. Be not ye partakers with them. So, those vain words being the wickedness that's increasing in the world. The scriptures instruct us not to be a partaker in such, but you're going to be a partaker in something. Like I said earlier, a lot of people are deluded in their mindsets, thinking they're soul entity thinkers. Everything it's all me. I got it all on my own. I got all the understanding on my own. A lot of people are deluded in that mindset, thinking that, you know, everything runs through me. You know, I'm my own knowledge source. I'm my own bank. But your bank is something. You have to get your reserves from something. You know, if it's not coming through Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, it's coming through the world, man. And the world is given to the hand of the wicked, pursuing to Job 9:24. So ultimately, you're supping with Esau. You're supping with the devil. You're sleeping with the devil, man, ultimately. Going back to the book of Ephesians, Ephesians 5 and 8. For you were sometimes darkness, but now are ye light in the Lord. Walk as children of the light. So we gotta walk as children of the light, meaning what? Put on the cloak of righteousness, man. You know, put on those garments. You know, put on those righteous acts, seeking that old path. Verse 9. And ultimately putting on Yahawashi. This is Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 17. And take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. You know, so that helmet of salvation ultimately is Yahawashi, because pursuing to 1 Corinthians 11 and verse 3, Yahawashi is the head of the man. So we put on that helmet of salvation. You know, that spiritual head is Yahawashi, man. Meaning what? We're supping with him. We're occupying ourselves in the word, because Yahawashi is the word. We're doing the things necessary to keep our mindset and keep our spirits in lockstep with the Most High. That's putting on that light, receiving the Spirit, being baptized in the Word. That's receiving the light, man. You know, keeping our candlestick lit, being on fire for this truth. That's being the light, telling our people what it is, instructing our people. That's using your light to put the light up, to transfer that light to others. That's everything that we need to be doing right now. That's walking as children of the light. Ultimately increasing in our righteousness. Verse 9. For the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness and righteousness and truth, proving what is acceptable unto the Lord, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. Let's get that word reprove. The word reprove goes into the word elegeko in the Greek, Strong's G1651, elegeko, which goes to rebuke, convince, to convict, to tell one's fault. So didn't the Apostle Paul instruct us to examine ourselves whether we be in the faith? That's going to increase in our righteousness, man. Doing the first works, keeping occupied the engrafted word. Making sure that this word is the foundation for our life. Making sure we're not letting our candlestick get blown out by being fervent, by being on fire, by not being lukewarm. All of that is putting on that light, man, and reproving darkness. You know, you see something going on in the world. You don't make yourself one with this society. You don't make yourself one with this wicked kingdom, man. Of course, we're all in the world, but the scriptures say we use it, we don't abuse it. That's why the scriptures instruct us to be not of the world. If any man is of the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Meaning you have no light, because all you are is in darkness. You know? If you're of the world, you're of darkness. If you're of the Father, you're of light. It's that simple. So that's walking as children of the light. Walking in the ways the Father instructed us to walk. And having faith in his Son, and having the spirit of his Son, who was perfect. Scriptures say, be ye perfect, for my Father in heaven is perfect. So of course we can't be perfect, but we do the best we can. And the best we can is walking in light and reproving darkness as much as we possibly can. That's why the scriptures say, offend less. And we reprove that darkness by casting it away, convicting ourselves, analyzing ourselves, looking within to see what we're doing wrong. You know, filtering back through the scriptures, going back to these law, statutes, commandments, going back to commandments that are all throughout the scriptures, and edifying ourselves, admonishing ourselves, making sure we're in the right stead with the Most High. That's what you do when you analyze yourself, man. And also, that's what you do. That's what you need to do to approve yourself. The scriptures say, open rebuke is better than secret love. The first open rebuke has to be with yourself, man. You know? Making sure you're occupying yourself in righteousness. Making sure your righteousness is increasing. You're not stagnant. If you're stagnant, you're just falling deeper and deeper into the world, man. Because you're not countering the wickedness of the world with the fruits of righteousness. You know? Wickedness is increasing all around you. But if you're not increasing righteousness within you, what's the point? It's the book of Ephesians, chapter 14, chapter 5 and verse 14. Wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Hamashiach shall give thee light. So we're rising from the dead right now, meaning what, man? You know, we're understanding our true heritage. You know, we're seeing that this society is full of wickedness. We're learning who the devil is. We're learning that the ways in which we learned were wrong. That's arising from the dead, man. And Hamashiach is giving us the light. Meaning what? His spirit is being implanted unto us, man. His spirit is being imparted in us. You know? And that allows us to walk with wisdom and understanding. Let's go to the book of 1 Corinthians. This is 1 Corinthians. First Corinthians chapter 1 In verse 24, verse 23, but we preach Hamashiach, crucified unto the Jews a stumbling block, and unto the Greeks foolishness. But unto them which are called both Jews and Greeks, the anointed Hamashiach Yahawashi, the power of the Most High and the wisdom of the Most High. So Hamashiach Yahawashi is ultimately that wisdom of the Most High, man. It's like you. So Hamashiach Yahawashi is that power and that wisdom of the Most High. Meaning what? When we get the light, we get wisdom, we get understanding. We get a way that, shuns us away from this world, man. We get a renewing of the mind. We get a renewed mindset. This is Ephesians 4:22. Salat. Verse 21, if so be ye that have heard him, he's talking about Yahawashi, and have been taught by him, as the truth is in Yahawashi. So Yahawashi is the word, he's the wisdom, meaning what? He's the truth, he's the way. That ye put off concerning the former conversation of the old man, which is corrupt according to deceitful lust, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind. So when you're renewed in the spirit, man, you have a change of mindset. You learn truth and you learn what the lie is. This word is the lie. Yahawashi is the truth. The scriptures, which is Yahawashi, the word is the truth. This word, what you learn that's against the word of the Most High, is the lie. So if the word is telling you to accept a new philosophy, the word is telling you to receive something in your body that's against the scriptures, then you know it's a lie, man. And you know it's something you shouldn't be doing. The word is telling you to love everybody, but the scriptures tell you to be ye separate and holy, then you know what you need to be doing, man. And you know which one's the truth and which one's the lie. The world tells you that everyone can be saved. Salvation for everybody, and then you can do whatever you want to do and get to heaven. That's folly, man. The world tells you there's many ways to heaven. That's folly. Yahawashi and the scriptures say there's only one way. If the world tells you that you don't have to keep the commandments, you can eat anything you want, you can do anything you want, just pray to sweet baby Jesus, He's gonna forgive you. But Yahawashi said that you love him to keep his commandments, and if you want to make it to the kingdom, you got to keep the commandments. The rich man asked Yahawashi, how should I reach the kingdom of heaven? Roughly paraphrasing. He said to keep the commandments. You know the commandments: don't commit adultery, don't murder, love your brother, and all the other 613. Those are the commandments of the Lord that we should keep if we want to reach the kingdom of heaven. The world tells you that heaven is somewhere in the sky, which that is a heaven, that's a third heaven, but they say that's the ultimate resting place. That's a lie. The scriptures say heaven will be on earth as it is in heaven. Those are the words of Yahawashi, which is truth. So you know what the truth is and where the lie resides when you analyze the scriptures, and you have that renewing of the mind. Meaning what? Your righteousness is increasing. Wickedness increasing is all these other words, man. All these other philosophies. That's all wickedness, man. They tell you this, to tell you that. That's all wickedness. And they increasing that into the world via their puppets and they servants, people that promote their messages. That's that wickedness increasing. But it's got to be countered with the words of the scriptures, man. And the wisdom and the righteousness of the scriptures. So that can sup with you, that can marinate within your spirit, and it can increase in your works and in your walk. Now you a light to the Gentile-minded Israelites. Verse 15. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. So we get that wisdom from the scriptures, man. You know, from that light being beamed on us from YAHAWASHI. Verse 16, redeeming the time because the days are evil. So the days of this world, man, are evil right now, man. You know, we see all kinds of, you know, wicked agendas being pushed in society, all kinds of counteracting agendas and scripts that are against the script of the Most High, being the scriptures. You know, we see that abounding, man. We see all kinds of unrighteous decrees being implemented into the world, you know, for the ascension and for the implementation of the beast system into society. So we know that these days are evil. So we got to be walking wise, man. Meaning what? Let that light shine bright. Meaning what? Let that righteousness increase. Verse 17, wherefore be ye not unwise, but understand what the will of YAHAWAH is, and be not drunk with wine, wherein is excess, but be ye filled, but be filled with the Spirit. So, you know, that wisdom is laden in being filled with the Spirit. The traits of being unwise are being of the world, or being a fool, not taking this gospel as seriously as you need to be taking it, man. So I can try and get this precept. This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 5 and verse 9. Wherefore we labor, that whether present or absent, we may be accepted of him. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Mashiach, that everyone may receive the things done in his body, according to that he hath done, whether it be good or bad. So what happened to YAHAWASHI's body, man? He was crucified. You know, he was bloody, Salaki. Salaki. But what happened to YAHAWASHI's body? He was crucified, he was bloody, he was murdered, he was made a laughing stock, you know. But everyone's going, you know, you're gonna receive that, man. Basically, also as well, just going through that trial, that temptation, that trial of fire, man. You know, that hour of temptation. You know, we all gonna have to go through that, but it says according to he hath done, whether it be both good or bad. So everyone's gonna have to be before that seat of judgment, man. And you're gonna get judged and tried for the things that you've done. People say you're already saved. People say you don't have to have works to be saved. That's bullshit, man. You're gonna be judged for the things you've done, good or bad. Verse 11. Knowing therefore the terror of the Lord, we persuade men. So the terror of the Lord, meaning what? The power of the Lord, man. We persuade men. Meaning what? You got to increase in your righteousness to even be able to persuade men. You know? You got to be studying, occupying yourself in right, keeping the law, statutes, commandments, doing the works. You know? Being as righteous as you possibly can. And doing the things necessary for that to increase. Not being stagnant, not being a slothful servant. You know, to allow that to increase in you. So you're growing in this truth, you're growing in this word, man. If you're at the same point, if you're asking the same questions and you're at the same point, 5 years from now, 5 years, for 5 years straight, I mean, what have you done? You've been a slothful servant, man. You haven't increased. And really, Salakia, and really, you become more wicked. Because if you're not countering that wickedness that naturally emanates from the world with righteousness, what are you doing, man? You know? More each day, you falling off that righteous level more and more and more. But we're all going to receive the things that'll be done in our bodies, man. You know, so YAHAWASHI, he died for us. His body was shed for us. So, you know what happened to his body? He got bloody, murdered, things of that nature for our sins. So we have the opportunity to do the work and repent and be judged, you know, for our works, good or bad, man. We're not judged if we make a mistake. We're not judged if we fall short here and there. We're judged by the overall body of work, man. That's why it says, done in his body, your body of work. What have you done while you had the opportunity to do so? What have you done when the time was appointed to do so? Before the terror of the Lord came. Going back to Ecclesiastes 12:1. What did you do? What did you do before the destruction came? Before the terror draweth nigh? Before that wickedness reaches its apex? What did you do? Continuing on, but we are made manifest unto Yahweh, and our trust also are made manifest in your consciences, man. You know, so we got to be conscious about the fact that we have to diligently increase in this word over time. Gotta let that righteousness just abound more and more with us, sup more and more with us, and increase more and more within us, man. Because wickedness is everywhere. It's the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15 and verse 58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. For as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. So we got to labor. Notice how I see in all of our actions, man. It's not done in vain. So the Most High is judging it. He's seeing everything. He's judging everything, man. He's seeing if you're doing this work according to truth and sincerity. He's seeing if you're doing it at all. He's seeing if you are keeping his laws, statutes, commandments. He's seeing if you're saying you're doing something, but you're not. And you're not. He's seeing if you're not repenting. He's seeing if you don't really care. He's seeing if you're being slothful. He's seeing he's judging it all, man. This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 9 and verse 7. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by his faith, whereby ye have believed, man. So everyone that's gonna be able to escape these coming terrors, ultimately, that wickedness reaching its apex, Jacob's trouble, the hour of temptation, which is coming very soon. You know, complete desolation. You're gonna be able to escape that by your faith and by your works. Meaning what? Doing being unmovable, abounding in the work, not being ashamed of the gospel. This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 3, and verse 12. For the eyes of the Lord are over the righteous, and his ears are open unto their prayers. But the face of the Lord is against them that do evil. So the Lord is only hearing those that do his work, that are righteous. Not saying that you got to be perfect, not perfect, but righteous. You know, like we read in 2 Corinthians, done in your body of what? The totality of your work. Were you increasing in righteousness? Did you recognize evil and hide yourself in the righteousness? Did you trust in the Lord? Did you believe that this is what's going to save you? And showing that by keeping his laws, statutes, commandments. Showing that by doing this work. Is that what you did? Or did you trust in carnal measures? Your gun, your strap, your food, your water, your job, your money, your silver, whatever it may be, your Bitcoin, your cryptocurrency, you know, your possessions, what makes you quote unquote high value. Did you trust in that, or did you trust in the Lord to save you? You know, that's the complete body. That's gonna be shown via your works. If you really believe, you're gonna do the work, man. If you really believe this is gonna save you, you're gonna put this first in your life. You know, you recognize the importance of it. You recognize that everything revolves around this. Everything moves through this. Verse 13, and who is he that will harm you if you be followers of that which is good? So that righteousness is increasing when that wickedness comes like a terror in the night, man. When Jacob's trouble gets, when mandates go crazy, when the UN and cyborg soldiers start running rampant through these streets, man. When kick doors are going crazy, niggas just shooting each other. You know, niggas robbing, all this, that, and the third, all kinds of heinous crimes are going on in the world, and all out madness is ensuing because of your abundance of righteousness, because of you increasing in your righteousness. You have nothing to worry about. So there's a benefit to increasing your righteousness. There's a benefit to doing more works. Protection when everyone else is getting slaughtered, man. People are dying, plagues are coming out crazy on people. By increasing in your righteousness, you have the ability to have protection and save your soul. Just so you're not tempted to go in that way and take that MLB like a lot of people are going to be, man. When you ain't got no food, you ain't got no water, war's going crazy. You know, you can get drafted, civil war is going crazy. Prices are through the roof, inflation is going all through the roof. $10 a tank of gas. But they have a solution via the MOB. If you take it, you'll be able to partake in society. When you have nothing, you're more tempted. But you're not gonna have anything if the Lord's not protecting you, if the Lord's not providing for you. Meaning what? If you're not doing the work, you're not keeping His law, statutes, commandments. You know, you're not abiding in the word of truth. You're not allowing that light to shine on you. If you're not doing so, you're gonna have no protection in Jacob's trouble. Meaning what? You have more likelihood to go take that MOB, which that's your ass if you do that. Verse 14, and if ye suffer for righteousness' sake, happy are ye, and be not afraid, for the terror, of the terror, neither be troubled, but sanctify the Lord YAHAWAH in your hearts, and be ready always to give an answer to every man that asketh you for a reason, of the hope that is in you with meekness and fear, man. You know? So you gotta suffer for righteousness' sake. You know? You gotta do the work. You gotta increase in your righteousness. Yeah, we see wickedness is going crazy in the world, but you gotta still counteract with righteousness no matter how hard it gets, man. You know, no matter how many demons you're dealing with. You gotta counter that wickedness with that right prayer, fasting, you know, asking the Lord to be with you. Asking the Lord to be with you in all ways, to sup with you and whatnot. Hey, brother, want to come hear the word, brother? You want to come hear the word? You know you're an Israelite. You God's chosen, man. Come hear the word, brother. Come hear the word. All praises. What's up with you, bro? You know you God's chosen? You God's chosen. You ever heard of Hebrew Israelites? You said what? You ever heard of Hebrew Israelites? You know, Hebrew Israelites are basically God's chosen people. Pursuing back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You know the story of Jacob in the Bible, the 12 sons. So Jacob had 12 sons, and Jacob's name was changed into Israel. Those 12 sons are the tribes of the nation of Israel. Everyone on the earth right now stems from one of the 18 biblical nations. What's your patriarchal lineage? What is your father? What do you classify yourself as? African American, black, black. What about your father? Black, African American. Yeah, so you'll be considered a Hebrew Israelite, man. So you know that means you're God's chosen. That means you stem from one of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. You know what times we're living in right now?
Pretty bad.
Pretty some bad times. You know, the Bible classified this as the last days. You know, you see signs going on in the world right now. You see this pandemic and all this, that, and the third, man. You know, them implementing certain measures and whatnot into society. That's pretty much, you know, what's setting the tone for what's happening, for what's going to happen in the world. You know, later on down the line, maybe a year, 2 years from now, whatever it may be, whenever the Most High sees fit. That's basically setting the tone for the new society. You heard that term they be saying, the new normal? So that new normal, man, you know, basically just like all kinds of things are gonna start going on. We're not going back to the way it was before. You know, you see people talking about, you know, mandates and people talking about distancing and whatnot. That's all to set the tone for the new normal being the new world order. That's just a code word for the new world order. You ever heard of that before? So you heard about things like New World Order, you know, you heard about like things like microchips and things like that. So you know that's the mark of the beast pursuant to Revelation 13. Let me get that for you, man. Let me show you a picture of it. Let me get the preset for it as well. Let me show you a picture of the microchip. This is the RFID microchip right here. This is what they want to put in everyone's body right here, man. So, you know, everything that's going on right now in society is leading up to this moment right here where they want to put this in everybody. They want to basically mark everybody, for this system and whatnot, because you're gonna need this as a token to be able to move and shake a society to buy or sell. Let me pull this out for you right here. That's pursuant to the book of Revelation. Revelation 16, he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor. So basically, it's going to be everybody, man. It don't matter who you are. Everyone's going to be subjected to taking this chip right here. He calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. This is going to be the mark right here. Now, you heard about the company Neuralink with Elon Musk, you know, with the brain chip and whatnot. That's pursuant to this right here as well, because it says in their right hand. This chip right here, this rice grain chip, is going to be the one they're going to put in your hands. But the Neuralink chip, it's going to be the one they put in your foreheads. And you see them talking about, you'll be able to get it and cure Alzheimer's, and that's all a ploy to get people to take the mark. But continuing on, it says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. So all this right here, man, this was pretty much just a global reset. You heard that term before? So you heard that term, so you know that. So you know, it's basically just a changing of the guard and things like that. Transition from the world we were previously in to the new world, aka the new world order that's coming on down the line and coming later. And ultimately, we're in it right now, but we're in the beginning stages of it. But it says that no man might buy or sell, save that had the mark, the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So, you know, that's the mark. That's you know, the times we're headed into. It's all about leading up to that mark. All roads are going to lead to that mark right there. But you have a chance. See, everyone in the world is not, you know, everyone in the world is going to be subject to the mark, but everybody's not subject to righteousness associated with it. You know, what kind of like spiritual like beliefs did you grow up under? Christianity, any kind? You said what?
I'm a Jehovah's Witness.
You're Jehovah's Witness, so like Christian, like a branch of Christianity or something like that. So you know that basically. So what have you been taught in terms of like salvation and heaven and things like that?
That there'll be a time like they'll have signs and everything to tell you when Jehovah, as in God's real name, will come down and clean the earth, like he did with Noah's Ark.
Noah and the flood, yeah.
So he come down and clean the earth, and all his behavited witnesses, such as the 144,000, and everybody who follow him are going to be saved, and all the loved ones you lost during the time will be resurrected in paradise, living happily.
So where have you been taught that paradise is going to be? On earth. That's all praises to that. A lot of people, a lot of people come from that Christian background or any kind of Christian background don't even understand that. So all praises to that. But that's only for the nation of Israel. It's not for everybody. It's only for the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, the only ones that can actually achieve that salvation of the 144,000. It's really not for everybody. Let me get this for you. This book of John. This is John 4:22. These are the words of who the world calls Jesus. So, like in the Jehovah's Witness faith, do you guys acknowledge the Savior?
We don't see it. We see most people like go to churches and everything believe that God, the Son, and the Holy Spirit is all one person.
That's not true. That's
we see it as three different people.
Okay, I got you, but I'll get that for you. But this is going back to that point about it only being for the nation of Israel. This is John 4:22. Ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. So as you can see in the Bible, it tells you that salvation is only for the Jews. Now the Jews is specifically talking about the three tribes of the southern kingdom of the nation of Israel, going all the way back to after the kingdom split after the fall of Solomon, and his son Rehoboam. Split between the northern and the southern kingdom of the nation of Israel was split. The three southern kingdom nations are the Jews. So this is basically saying that salvation is only of the Jews. But, it's also the northern kingdom that got grafted in as well, who can get salvation as well, because they are still of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. It's only the nation of Israel that can achieve that ultimate salvation, though. Let me go to Revelation, the 7th chapter for you. So Revelation 7, because you mentioned 144,000. So in the Jehovah's Witness faith, what do y'all think the 144,000 is?
It's like
Is it like servants of God, or
like before it's like servants he appointed himself.
Mm-hmm. So you think the 144,000 just basically like servants the Most High is appointed on the earth to do what? Like
just to help out, because when Armageddon and everything happens, Jesus is going to be ruling over the earth instead of Jehovah. He's going to be still up in heaven, and then the 144,000 are going to help us lead us towards everything. And then within the next 100,000 or however long Jehovah actually, he's going to release Satan back out into the world so you can kill him.
I see what you're saying. So that's actually pursuing the Revelation 20th chapter. I'm gonna get that for you, but let me get this for you real quick. So this is going to the 144,000 right here. This is Revelation 7. This is going to all the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. You notice where it says the tribe of Judah, Asher, Simeon, Zebulun, and all the tribes of the nation of Israel are the only ones that can be classified at that 144,000, because as it says right here, saying, hurt not the earth, nor the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their forehead. And I heard of them, a number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. So the 144,000 are only of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. And these are the 12 tribes right here, Judah, Asher, Simeon, Zebulun, all the way down. And it also goes into, Benjamin, Joseph, which is the tribe of Ephraim, Levi, Manasseh, all the 12, remember I was telling you earlier about the sons of Jacob, the 12 sons of Jacob, which, Jehovah's Witness, so I'm sure you understand of that, all those 12 sons of Jacob, because Jacob's name was changed to Israel. Those are all the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, the 12 sons, which every one of the nation of Israel comes from one of those 12 sons. All of us, the nation of Israel, the blacks, the Latinos, and the Native Americans. All the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans come from one of Jacob's 12 sons. So in terms of you and us, we don't know exactly what son we come from, but we come from one of his 12 sons. And through the faith, we believe that and whatnot. It'll all get revealed when as you say, Jesus comes back and he restores everything on the earth. But I want to get that point for you right there. So this shows that it's only for the nation of Israel right here. Now this is going into verse 9, where it talks about all the nations and kindreds and tongues. That's actually because it says,
nations, kindreds, and people and tongues stood before the throne. So a lot of people think that keeps talking about all nations can get saved. But that's actually not true. But as the Bible said, we got to add precept upon precept. Meaning you got to add things to each other for it to come in the totality and so we can get to really understand it. Let's go to the book of Isaiah. Isaiah 11. Yes, I got you, man. Let me get this for you real quick, man. Isaiah 11 and 11, and it shall come to pass in that day. That day is talking about that day when the Savior returns, when, quote unquote, Jesus, he returns. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time, meaning what? He already came on the earth the first time, but he's going to come again the second time. To recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, from Egypt, and from Pathros, and Cush, and Elam, and Shinar, and Hamath, and all the islands of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel. So Israel has been scattered to all four corners of the earth. It tells you in Matthew 24th chapter how this gospel will reach the four winds of the earth. Why is that? Because Israel is everywhere, man. You got Israelites in China, Israelites in Africa, you got Israelites in Asia. The bulk of the Israelites are in the Western Hemisphere, because let me get this for you. Let me go to Deuteronomy. You ever heard about the Deuteronomy 28 curses? So every Israelite is under the Deuteronomy 28 curses. Why are we cursed? Because we came against God, man. We worship other gods. We worship gods of wood and stone, things of that nature. We practice paganism against our ultimate power. So he placed curses on us because we didn't obey him. You see what's going on in the world today. Who's the people in the lowest condition? Blacks, Latinos. Why? Because we're cursed people. Because who's on top right now? It's the white man. Because he's in his heaven right now, but we're in our hell right now. Because we are a cursed people, and the Most High God has put him on the earth to oppress over us because of our disobedience to him. This is Deuteronomy 28. Let's go into verse 64. Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Egypt is a representation of the house of bondage. How did God bring people in ships? The slave trade. From the west coast of Africa, brought us over here, on ships, man, on slave ships, man, to serve our oppressors. So the Lord shall bring thee again into Egypt again with ships, showing that this is already past the time when we were actually in the Israelites, we were actually in Egypt, with Moses and whatnot. So Egypt again, meaning this modern day Egypt being America. With ships by the way, whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there shall be so, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. That word buy goes to no man shall save you. So we're in a condition right now where we're sold into our enemies. We're under our oppressors. We pretty much don't have the free reign to pretty much do anything. Everything we got to pay taxes. We're subject to payments. Everything we have to be subject to the man that runs this society for us to move and shake and have some sort of quote unquote peace in the society and whatnot. But I want to, before you go, man, I want to get that point in Revelation, the 20th chapter, because you brought that up with the battle of Armageddon. So the battle of Armageddon, when you read Revelation 20th chapter, it's a real spiritual chapter. So that, let me ask you this, what is your understanding of Satan? Who do you think Satan is according to Jehovah's Witness faith and whatnot?
Satan is the reason why we're not perfect right now. The one angel that got corrupt and went against Jehovah from Adam and Eve, which caused us this year.
I see. Well, the thing about Satan, the word Satan just goes into the adversary. So it's the opposing force of God. Now, God controls everything. It tells you in Isaiah, the 45th chapter, he controls the light and the dark. So he has control over everything. So Satan is just the opposing force against God. So Satan, Satan actually dwells amongst us and walks amongst us. You ever heard that phrase before? That's actually in the form of the so-called white man, who is Esau, according to the Bible. Esau is the brother of Jacob. Esau and Jacob. The Bible's all about, like I said, everyone comes from one of 18 biblical nations. The wicked of the earth, aka Satan in the flesh, is the Edomite race. The Israelites are Jacob. The Edomites are Esau. That's who that devil in Revelation the 20th chapter is talking about when it says we laid hold of the dragon and old serpent, which the devil and Satan are bound 1,000 years. That time period right there is talking about when they were bound in ancient Europe for 1,000 years during the Byzantine Empire. And we were actually ruling in that time period. We've heard the term the Dark Ages. They call it that because dark people were ruling that time period in ancient Europe. Did you know about that? Yes. So all praises there. All praises there. But when you mentioned that point, just real quick before you go, brother, you mentioned that point about the on earth, when that tribulation comes, what comes about and things of that nature, the battle of Armageddon and whatnot. That battle of Armageddon is actually going to be fought on the earth before, quote unquote, heaven comes into pass, because that battle of Armageddon is actually talking about World War III. That's like World War III is coming very, very soon, because it says right here in verse 8, and he shall go to deceive the nations. That's talking about the so-called white man who has deceived people into thinking, believing in his image of God. You look at it, you type in God and Jesus online, what do you see?
White.
Exactly. So that's deceiving the people right there. That's making likeness of God and Jesus via His image. But if you read in the scriptures classify God and Jesus as so-called black man via their skin. Did you know that?
Yeah, because where Jesus was born in Africa, in Egypt, his skin had to be dark. It couldn't be white.
Well, that's true. That's true as well. That's very true.
Because the geography of those people that's in that hot environment, their skin is white.
That's true. And that's actually in the scriptures as well. Let me get this for you real quick. It's Revelation chapter 1 and verse 14. This is going to Jesus' description. His head and his hairs were white like wool, and white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine grass. And if they burned in the furnace, then his voice as the sound of many waters. So, what is your hair texture? Wool. So that means Jesus looks like you. That means he looks like me. What is that fine brass in the furnace? What that means? It's very dark. It means he has skin complexion of myself, you, all of us. You know what I'm saying? So-called black people who have a darker skin complexion. I mean, that's exactly what he looks like. So when the devil, going back to Revelation 20, when the devil, deceive the nations, the spiritual, Satan is not going to come and deceive you by words and whatnot. That it's a physical manifestation that's Satan via the Edomite race. Like you said, they're the image of God and Jesus and whatnot. So with that being in effect, him going out to deceive the nations, go back to Revelation 20 real quick. It says, and he shall go to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog. And now Gog and Magog is talking about that landmass of Russia, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is the sand of the sea. This is talking about World War III, or that you could read that in Ezekiel the 30th chapter as well. This is World War III, or the Battle of Armageddon, which is going to be fought on the earth to purge the wickedness of this earth before the before the Israelites get resurrected and get brought up, and then we're going to rule on the earth. That's pretty much the process of how it's going to go down. Yeah, nice. What's your name, brother? Troy. I'm Malak. Nice to meet you. Yeah, Malak. Nice to meet you. You have a phone?
Yeah, Instagram.
Yeah. Look me up on Instagram, man. You can find my page and my channel and my YouTube channel and all that. That can't be the name of the Most High. Remember this name. His name is YAHAWAH. You're going to need that name at the times that we're coming in right now. His name is Yahawah. His son's name is YAHAWASHI. Yahawah, when the Most High gave Moses his name, Moses had asked the children, the Most High, the God, to tell his name to the children. What should you call him by to the children of Israel when he was going to go forth to Egypt to deliver our people? He asked, "What should I call? What should I call you?" And he said, "Say, I am." I am in the Paleo Hebrew transfers to the tetragram of the letters YHWH. In Paleo Hebrew, after the consonant, you have to add a vowel, and that vowel is the A. So it's YHWH. That's Yahawah. So that's Yahawah. That's the name of the Most High. And his son's name, and that means I am, or I exist, or Yahawah means he is, or he exists. YAHAWASHI is, quote unquote, Jesus' name. It means I am the deliverer. Because what? His name is a nomen omen, because he's going to deliver the elect. We read Revelation 7th chapter, that 144,000 that came from the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. He's going to deliver the nation. He's going to deliver the elect members of the nation of Israel from the 144,000. Also that multitude that I showed you that's going to come from all the four corners of the earth as well. So remember that, brother. Yahawah and YAHAWASHI. That's to be true.
That was beautiful. All praises to that. All praises. Lord will, that brother, receives the word and whatnot. Lord will, he takes this seriously. And I'm still, kind of in the early stages of, and all that. So I'm trying to still learning the best way to approach brothers when they come up and whatnot to want to hear the word. But, Lord will, that was edifying for that brother. He's able to, learn about this, get into the resources and whatnot, and ultimately, get this light. For very fitting for the lesson that we're going into, that light, man, that light of YAHAWASHI. So that brother, he just had an opportunity to receive the light. So Lord will, he grasps that, he engrafts that into his life, and he takes that on, man. But continuing on, going back to what we were saying. Let's go to Salaki. I'm going to go to the book of Baruch. This is the book of Baruch. All right, here we go. Baruch chapter 4 and verse 1. This is the book of the commandment of the Most High, and the law that endureth forever. And all they that keep it shall come to life, and such as leave it shall die. So increasing that righteousness, man. That righteousness being increased, that wickedness is abounding. We gotta. This is integral, man. That righteousness and allowing it to abound more on you, to sup with your spirit, to grow in it. It's integral to your life, man. It's integral to every day. It's integral for your soul, for where your soul's gonna rest, man. This not a game, man. If you don't take this in, you're gonna die. Verse 2. Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof. So we just read in Ephesians, the 5th chapter, that life is YAHAWASHI. That life is the spirit of YAHAWASHI, man. The word, things of that nature, man. So we gotta take the light thereof. Meaning what? A light. This thing about a light, man. A light, if you just got it on for a period of time, it's gonna die out eventually. So what? You gotta recharge that light. You gotta put a new bulb in, things of that nature. You gotta be balanced with it. You can't have it on all the time. Somebody gotta turn it off. You gotta turn it on. Things like that. All of that it goes into, increasing in that righteousness, man. that thou mayest be illuminated. So we're being illuminated. We're getting higher levels of consciousness and knowledge via the word, man. You know, we're getting higher levels of consciousness, understanding via the word of the Most High, via that light, which ultimately is YAHAWASHI. And this is giving us the keys for eternal life. You know, now let's go into the second portion of today's camp. We're gonna go into, you'll be able to know the men by their fruits, man. Let's go to the book of 1 John. This is 1 John 4:1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they are of the Most High, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. So many false prophets are out in the world, man. So you got to really be trying the spirit, and you'll know what a false prophet is by the things in which he partakes in, man. Let's go to Matthew, the 7th chapter. Because this is integral and key in increasing in righteousness, not getting polluted by filthy information. This is actually, before we go there, let's go to the book of Titus. This is Titus 1:10. For there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision, those who know that they're Israelites, man, whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not, for filthy lucre's sake. So you got people out here, man, who are teaching false practices for filthy lucre's sake, man. Either because their handlers told them they sold out and their handlers told them to do so, or because they're trying to get more notoriety so they can sell more clothes and get more and make more money and things like that, so they can sell more merchandise for themselves, you know. Or they're being told, or they're CIA infiltrated, so they can bring in agendas into this truth. They can bring in wicked practices and being used by the CIA to infiltrate this truth with wicked practices, man. You know, you got a plethora of things going on where people are for filthy lucre's sake, that people are involving themselves in, man. So those are things that you can trace, that you can see within a false prophet, man. Within somebody whose only purpose is meant to deceive you. It's Matthew 7:15. Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. You shall know them by their fruits. So you're going to know men by their fruits, man. You're going to know them by the doctrine in which they teach. Do they have the right name? Do they have the right breakdown of things, of key things for salvation? Do they know what the mark of the beast is? Do they know the right name of the Most High and His Son? Do they believe in both testaments? You know? Do they say outlandish things? And do they have things associated with them saying outlandish things? Are their fruits righteous? Do they have righteous brothers underneath them? You know? Do they have a righteous congregation around them? Or is it a bunch of nigga shit, man? Those are things that you'll be able to see if someone's a false prophet. Those are those fruits, man. You know? Do the people around them have a proper understanding of the doctrine of the gospel, man? You know? Or are they unlearned? You know? Are the people around them increasing in their growth? Or are they unlearned? Things like that, you'll be able to see if someone's a false prophet or not. You know, and also if someone around you and of your nation can come with that same wicked energy as Esau, man. So you know to hide yourself from that and not really get involved in that. Be like, nah, I'm cool on that, man. Verse 18, a good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them. So you're gonna know a man by his fruits, man. You're gonna know a man by the things that you know, his byproducts, man. You know, the brothers come under him, man. The brothers around him. You know, his traits, the traits of people that learn underneath him. You know, are they sowing righteousness or wickedness? You know, that's how you'll be able to spot it, man. And you'll be able to counteract that with your own. You know what? I can't get involved in that right there. You know, I can't really get into that. Things of that nature. That's gonna help you, and that's gonna keep you and shy you away. You know, from getting involved with the beast ultimately, man. From being cast in that lake of fire, which is that death, man. That's gonna be on the earth. Go to the book of 2 Corinthians. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 13. For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Mashiach. So you got a lot of people out here, man, that are false teachers, man. False apostles. You know, transforming themselves into you know, angels of light, man. Messengers of light. The word angels goes into a messenger, man. They're transforming themselves into angels of light. Just like Lucifer, man. You know, it's like that light bearer, Esau Edom. You know? That illuminating force on the earth. Who the world is run through being Esau Edom. They're no different, man. You know? So you got to know that so you can know to stay away from that and increase in your own righteousness. Not rely on them to give you structure, stability, understanding, because it's vain in nature and it's only meant to deceive you. Verse 14. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Right, exactly. So the children, they know different from Satan, man. Because Satan himself is transformed to an angel of light. You know? So they come in that same form. They come in that same energy, in that same mindset. Those same actions, deception, you know, they just may know that they're an Israelite. That's the only difference. They know they're an Israelite, man. They're still working the same iniquity. So telling you falsehoods, doctrines of devils. You know. Let's go to that. First Timothy 4:1. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly, that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron. You know, so you're going to have people out here speaking them lies, man, working that iniquity, even those who are Israelites. Because it says what? Depart from the faith. So they were once in the faith, they were once in the fold, but they're departing from it, man. You know, they once had the understanding, and they still got the understanding, but they're just working iniquity with it, man. They once were dedicated to the Most High and His Son, but now they're not. They got infiltrated by Esau, man. Infiltrated by, and got corrupt via the things of the world, money, prestige, acknowledgement, you know, vain compliments, things like that, man. You know, notoriety. Got deceived by that, man. Got trodden down with wanting to acquire that more than acquire this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and be in right stead with the Most High. They wanted to be abased. They wanted to be exalted and not be humble, man. Ultimately, they wanted their treasure on this side. So they got to sup with the devil to do so, man. If you want your treasure on this side, you gotta be in lockstep with the devil. You gotta sell your soul, man. Ultimately, you gotta sell your soul. It may not be in the extreme form that these celebrities, entertainers do, but you gotta sell your soul and you gotta sell your integrity. You gotta sell out your nation, which is what you're doing. And you're attempting to sell out the Most High. You're attempting to sell out YAHAWASHI. You know, different from a damn Pharisee, man. in the time when our Lord was walking the scene. You know, different, man. Trying to sell out the Lord. You know, trying to make an accusation, character accusations of him. Say that he's doing this and doing that like the Pharisees were doing. You know, saying look at him, he really eats swine. He really does this. You want to be around this wicked man. Also be in lockstep with his crucifixion, man. Because you're spiritually crucifying YAHAWASHI. Because you're preaching against his word, man. You're preaching against the true doctrine, the true understanding. Departing from the faith. Giving heed to those seducing spirits. Those spirits in your ear that's saying, hey, just do this. Man, look, you can acquire this. You can be this. And you want it to be that way in the world. You can be that in this truth, man. Niggas want to be something in the world. And when you get into the truth, you get an opportunity to be something in the truth, but it comes at a price. It comes to selling out your nation. So you got to be cognizant of that and recognize that within brothers. So you're not deceived by it, because they're not a brother, man. They're not a brother. So you don't get deceived by that. You know? You don't get trodden down with them. You don't be cast in that lake of fire like they going to, man. This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 2 and verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. We're not ignorant of his devices, man. Meaning what? Let's get that word devices, man. Let's get that. Goes into the word zama, going to lewdness, wickedness, a wicked mind, a wicked purpose. You have to see by them wicked purposes, man. By them wicked thoughts, them wicked actions. With his wicked devices, man. Like his tools of mischief, you know, his tools of marking you for destruction. Things like that. You're not ignorant of that, man. But also, as well, people that are implementing wicked devices spiritually, taking you off the right path, the right doctrine. That's a spiritual wicked device. Because those actions spiritually, those spiritual wicked devices, it's going to lead you to taking the physical wicked devices. It's going to lead you to depart from the faith, be lukewarm, and the Most High is going to lead you right into that MLB. Going to lead you right into that jab, man. You know, because you didn't want to submit to the righteous pathway, man. And you fell victim, you fell short to his wicked devices, man. His puppets, things of that nature. This is John 15. And 15, henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth, but I have called you friends. For all things that I have heard of my Father, I have made known unto you. Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you, and ordained you, that ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever ye ask of the Father in my name, he may give you. So the Most High instructed us to go bring forth fruit. So you got brothers bringing forth fruit on the righteous end and on the wicked end, man. You know, you got brothers, but it's that fruit that you'll know that man by, because the man is bringing forth fruit. But is it righteous or is it wicked? Is it learned or is it unlearned? Is it growing or is it stagnant? Those are the traits that we got to watch out for, and we got to analyze within who we choose to get information from. And y'all Israelites, come and hear this word. Hey, you know, but it's that fruit, man, that you're gonna know man by. You know? So if they tell you certain things, they're trying to remove books from the Bible. They're trying to convince you that the wicked devices of Esau aren't as bad as you say that they are. you know, trying to mock you and scorn you into falling victim and feeling bad and going to walk with the devil. That's a man trying to sow wicked fruit. And you look at the people that listen to that, man, don't have the proper understanding, may not have the right name, may not have the right doctrine, may not be focused on prophecy. You see those traits right there, you're like, damn, man, what kind of fruit have you brought forth? The fruit is unlearned, the fruit is stagnant, the fruit doesn't have the right understanding. So you know what? They're more than likely a false prophet, man. So you shouldn't even listen to them in the first place. And you should increase in your righteousness by reading and studying on your own, man. You know, and the Most High will appoint you brothers you can be with and listen to and get edification from. But get away from that so you can increase in righteousness. Because if you supping with them, you're really increasing in wickedness. Because you're increasing in iniquity, man. Because that person is working iniquity. He's telling you to do something you shouldn't be doing. Trying to make a name for himself instead of exalt the names of YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Those are traits. They're trying to have a high ranking title themselves. Instead of waiting for YAHAWASHI to put that crown on us, then we all kings and priests, man. You know? That's the fruit and that's the spirit you should be able to see. Because you'll be able to see it in the man's spirit and the fruit in which he's bearing. Because that fruit will have the same spirit as him. You go to the book of Sirach. This is Sirach 43 and 30. When ye glorify the Lord, exalt him as much as ye can. For even yet will he far exceed. And when ye exalt him, put forth all your strength. Meaning what? You got to increase in that righteousness, man. You know? Shalaki. The theme of this lesson, this camp, is increasing in righteousness, man. And also, you know, being in the right mindset via not following, you know, people who are leading you astray, so that you can be in the right mindset to increase in righteousness and be around the right actions of righteousness in general, so that you're not bogged down with wickedness, whether it be of the circumcision or of the heat or of Esau, man. Going back to it, for even yet will he far exceed, and when ye exalt him, put forth all your strength, and be not weary. Meaning what, man? Don't be weary coming to the Lord. Don't be faint-hearted. Don't be lackluster. Don't be lazy. Don't be a damn sluggard serving the Lord, man. Do it with all your might and all your strength, according to what the Lord has called you to do. For ye can never go far enough. You can never do enough for the Lord, man. The fact that he's got us in this truth is extreme grace enough. He honestly don't even need to do anything else for us, man. He got us in the right mindset. He has us with open ears to hear. We have the ability to hear the truth, hear the true words, so we can get saved. That's enough that the Lord has done for us. So we got to give it all to him, man. Being not weary and not making a tarry to turn. And exalt him as much as he can. You can only exalt the Lord and do more if you increase in righteousness. You know? If you're not occupied, because the thing, if you're occupied in wickedness, man, that's gonna plague your mind. Now you're gonna think, I can be doing this instead of serving the Lord. Now you're gonna think, okay, I can serve the Lord and still do this. That's not glorifying him as much as you can, man. If you think you can still serve the Lord and smoke weed, you think you can still serve the Lord and just you know, be involved in other philosophies. You think you can still serve the Lord, but hearken unto pagan practices. You know, you can still serve the Lord and not do the work. You can still serve the Lord and eat pork. You can still serve the Lord and fuck another man's wife. You know, you can serve the Lord and not keep your body a holy vessel, be it the clearing of your temple, man. By doing what? By keeping in mind the right mindset, His law, statutes, commandments. Hey, brother, come hear this word, brother. You're an Israelite. Hey, you know, but still, you can still serve the Lord. You think you can do anything you want to do and still serve YAHAWASHI. He has a way in which you have to serve Him. It's not according to our own beliefs and pseudo beliefs and understanding that we learned in Babylon. This is Sirach 5 and 7. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. Meaning what? No, don't be lackluster, man. Increase. Do more. You know? Get more understanding. Study. Read. Watch videos. Do the things necessary to please the Lord constantly. I'm not saying you can't do anything of the world. We need balance as well. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord. So we of course we still use this world. We still occupy ourselves in this world. We still have worldly things that we like to do. You know? Well, I'll say fleshly. We still have fleshly things we like to do. Just because it's fleshly doesn't mean it's carnal and wicked, man. Just because it has a worldly association with it, don't mean it's wicked. If brother, you like basketball, go play basketball, man. You like video games, go play some video games. You know? You like chilling with your shawty here and there, chill with your shawty here and there, man. It ain't wicked. But it shouldn't come before the work of the Lord. It shouldn't come before keeping the law, statutes, commandments. If your bitch wants you to go out and do something, she wanted you to take her to Red Lobster. Man, you can't take her to Red Lobster, man. If you got a basketball game, but you know you're supposed to come out to camp, go to camp, man. You know? If you know you haven't been doing what you need to do, but you've been increasing your worldly activities, then take a step back from that and analyze yourself and increase in the Lord, man. And then go back to doing that with a proper balance. But the Lord comes first. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth. So the wrath of the Lord is going to come suddenly, man. It's just how we were talking about earlier. You know, and that righteousness increasing, make not a tarry, man. Put not off from day to day. Don't be sluggish. Increase daily. When you occupy yourself in the word of the Lord day after day after day, you're naturally going to increase. That's not putting it off, man. So that you're ready and you prepared, you girded up with the right wisdom and understanding. When that terror comes from YAHAWASHI, man, when that danger comes, you ready. You're not thrown off guard. You know, you're not surprised. You're not fearful. You're not woeful, because you understood that this was coming. Because you did the due diligence in increasing your righteousness. You're increasing your studies. You know, you understood what the will of the Lord is. You had that protection from the Lord. So when that time period comes, you know, the Most High's looking out for you. You know, you're not going to be like these other people starving, eating yourself to death. I mean, flesh eating itself. Trying to eat your kid. You know, you don't have no money for none. You don't want to the MLB. Then you eventually end up taking it because that's the only way that you can buy or sell. That's what's going to happen to people. But if you increase in your righteousness, you're not making terror to turn to the Lord, He's going to look out for you. He's going to open rivers in high places. He gonna have it where He may rain some bread down from the heavens, man. We don't know how the Lord's going to do it. You always use the reference. You're going to kick a tree and water going to spew out of it, man. You're going to be running and you're just going to find some land, man. Just randomly. The Lord's going to supply it. If we do what He called us to do, though. If we increase in righteousness. We're not those slothful servants. You go to Matthew 25. Matthew 25. Matthew 25 and 25. And I was afraid and went and hid that talent in the earth. The first precept we got, man. Let's go back to Proverbs 28. Proverbs 28 and 28. When the wicked rise, men hide themselves. But when they perish, the righteous increase. So when the wicked arise, the men hide themselves. You don't want to hide your talent, man. You know, of course, you hide yourself from the evils. But you gotta not just hide yourself, but be righteous as well. It's not enough just to, like I said earlier, it's not enough just to get some tools. Get a bug out bag, you know, get some water. It's not enough for that, man. Learn how to shoot. You know, get skilled in archery. That's not enough, man. The ultimate protection, ultimate sword is righteousness. Matthew 25 and 25. And I was afraid, and when it hid thy talent in the earth, lo, there thou hast, that is thine. His Lord answered and said unto him, thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knewest that I reap where I sowed not, and gather where I have not strawed. Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money in the exchangers, and then at my coming I should have received my own usury. Therefore take the talent from him and give it unto him which hath 10 talents. You know? So you're a slothful servant, and the Most High is just going to remove your candlestick and give it to somebody else. Let's get Revelation, the 3rd chapter. Revelation chapter 2 and verse 5. Remember therefore from whence thou art Salat. Verse 4. Nevertheless, I have somewhat against thee, because thou hast left thy first love. Thy first love being what? The wife of thy youth. This truth. This holy truth. This understanding, this wisdom. Sophia. You know, that's our first love. It's this wisdom and understanding of the Lord, man. You know? Not some shawty in the world, man. You know? Not basketball, not the game, not rap, not boxing. Our first love is Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. He's our supplier for everything. We're the created. We're supposed to serve the Creator. Verse 5, remember therefore from whence thou art falling, and repent and do the first works. So you got to repent and do the work, man. You know? Or what will happen? Or else I will come unto thee quickly and will remove thy candlestick out of his place, except thou repent. And you know, I've had conversations with brothers where, you know, we don't know this specifically. You know, we speaking as men, but we don't know 100%. Well, we witnessed brothers lose their candlestick and the Most High give it to another brother close to him, man. And that brother has increased. And that other brother has decreased all into wickedness, man. Damn, sold out, you know, don't give a hell about the Lord. Supping with Esau, you know, worshiping pagan gods. Got all kinds of hand signs and gestures and chains, you know, referencing the fact and making it obvious that he serves the Bacchus. You know, he's a Baphomet venerator. He's a Pan worshiper, serving the mother goddess. You know, we've seen a case study on that, man. And another brother who that candlestick, he got the candlestick. That's the thing. That brother wasn't taking it seriously. Most High shut him out. And now this brother is increasing, man. Doing more works. Increasing in righteousness. So we you know, like I said, just speaking as a man, seeing a case study on that firsthand, man. The scriptures say, I will remove thy candlestick, meaning what? Your light. You will no longer have no light because you chose to occupy yourself in darkness. Like I said earlier, you know, you're gonna be doing something. You're going to be serving something. If you're not serving light, you are serving dark. There's no in between. You know? There's no, I'm going to do this, but I'm going to do this. Or I'm going to do this, but I'm going to somewhat do this and whatnot. Nah, man. Ain't no in between, man. You're not serving light. You're serving darkness. You're not serving YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. You're serving the world. You're serving Esau, the false gods. You know? You're a low-level Luciferian, man. Let's call it what it is. You know? So that light is being removed because you wanted to occupy yourself in darkness. Except you repent. So it all comes down to repentance too, man. You can come back and repent. But some point in time, the most I'm like, nah, I'm cool, I'm done. Go back to Sirach. Let's go to Tobit. This is Tobit chapter 4 and verse 5. My son, be mindful of the Lord our power all thy days, and let not thy will be set to sin or to transgress his commandments. Do uprightly all thy life long, and follow not the way of the unrighteous. For if thou deal truly, thy doings shall prosperously succeed to thee, and to all them that live justly. So, increasing in your work, man. Increasing in your righteousness. Let's get another way that you can do that. Verse 7. Give alms of thy substance. And when thou givest alms, let not thine eye be envious, neither turn thy face from any poor, and the face of YAHAWAH shall not be turned away from thee. If thou hast abundance, give alms accordingly. If thou hast but a little, be not afraid to give according to that little. For thou layest up a good treasure for thyself against the day of necessity, because that alms do deliver from death, and suffer not to come into darkness. So the alms is a representation of increasing in your righteousness, because you're increasing, you're giving the alms, you're supporting people, you're seeing what righteousness is, and you want to support it, man. You see a brother's got a good spirit, you know, you want to give that, but you want to help that brother, support that brother, give what you have. And then you're not envious in doing so. A cheerful giver. That's increasing in your righteousness, man. That's a way you can increase in righteousness as well. Every brother don't have the spirit to teach. Every brother don't have the spirit to prophesy. Every brother's not going to be on the highways and byways. You know? But you can give alms. Every brother can give alms. Every brother can keep the commandments. Let's go back to Tobit 4. Be mindful of the commandments. Verse 5. And don't transgress. Every brother can be mindful of the commandments. Every brother can give alms. Both of those increasing your righteousness. Because you do it more and more and more. You're what? You're increasing. You're doing it more and more and more. You occupy yourself in it. It's become a mainstay to you. You can't imagine a life without it, man. You have less of a susceptibility to turn to the right or left, to go to wickedness. Because over time, it becomes part of you. The commandments become part of you. I can't even imagine eating swine. And I say this humbly. Can't even imagine eating swine. Haven't had it in so long. You know, not just myself, but you brothers out there as well. Can't even imagine eating pork. Can't even imagine dealing with another man's woman. Because it's become part of us, man. You know? Can't even imagine not occupying ourselves with the commandments. It's become part of us, man. Now we go off and we sin. Everybody's got their demons that they deal with. Everybody's got their certain infirmities, you know? Or select, not infirmity, that's sickness. Iniquities. Everybody's got their certain iniquities. Everyone has things that they're dealing with. For one brother, what may be easy to you may not be easy to another brother. So we gotta be mindful of that too. But everybody can occupy yourself in the commandments. Every brother can strive for perfection. get this right here in Peter. All right, so we ain't gonna get that. Slacky. But going back to Tobit. You know, because that alms is righteousness, man. Them alms, you never know that man, that could help a brother pay his bills that week. That could help if a brother may be in a situation where he finna get his car repossessed. Brother may be in a situation where he needs a quick out. He needs 50 real quick, and the Spirit just hops on you. Hey, brother, I want to give you this. That may be food for that brother that week. You never know. You never know, man. That's why it says, "For thou layest up a good treasure for thyself against the day of necessity." The day of necessity, the day where you gonna need BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. The day where you gonna need, righteousness to abound within you. The day, hey, come hear this word, sister. She don't want to hear it. Hey, but when you need that righteousness, when you need YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, to protect you in that day. So I was stumbling a little bit, but you need YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI to protect you in that day. And you're an Israelite. You God's chosen. But you're gonna need it, man. The day of evil. Jacob's trouble. The day where all else is gonna fail, and the only thing that's gonna matter is what did you do for the Lord? When you had the opportunity, you had the time, what did you do? That's the only thing that's gonna matter, man. Is the Most High with you or not? That's laying up treasure, man. So every brother can do their part to increase in that righteousness. Like I said, every brother is not going to teach. Every brother's not going to preach. Every brother's not going to prophesy. Every brother's not going to, do certain things where he can speak and counsel brothers. But every brother can give alms. Every brother can keep the commandments. It says, because that alms do deliver from death. So alms deliver from death, man. The Most High sees you giving alms, like, man, this brother has a brotherly spirit. Want to see the best from brothers. Want to see brothers, make it. The Most High's tallying that up, saying, you know what? He got a righteous spirit on him. He cares about my commandment. He cares about my words. He cares about his nation. He's brotherly minded. And ultimately being nation minded is being kingdom minded, man. Because we're going to be a nation on the earth of kings and priests, and we're all going to be righteous. And we're going to rule forever. So to be nation-minded is to be kingdom-minded. Meaning the coming together of our nation, is for the kingdom, for dominion forever in the kingdom of YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. It says, for alms is a good gift unto all that give in the sight of the Most High. Because really what? You're giving to vessel of the Most High, man. You're giving to the Most High when you give alms, You're increasing in righteousness. It's all about letting those righteous works increase within you, during this time period we got right now to do so, man. So I think I'm going to go ahead and end it there. With that, I want to give all the praises, the glory, and the honor unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Bakakwadash, Kwam Yasharala, Abad, Babal, Shalom, keep the faith.